YouTube bans all anti-vaccine misinformation. Published 1 hour ago. Now, obviously, I am a supporter of vaccines. I think you need to get vaccinated, folks. If you don't get vaccinated, you're a dumb motherfucker. If you peddle this stupid-ass disinformation garbage, you're a dumb motherfucker. And I can't wait to see you get owned. Now, my only problem with these policies is there are always people that aren't actually breaking the policy, but for whatever reason, the algorithm interprets it that way, and they get caught in the crossfire here. It's happened to me several times. Back when the pandemic started, I made a couple of videos with just giving information about hospital statuses and pandemic information, and I got a couple of videos flagged for medical misinformation when I was reading CNN articles and WHO articles. That didn't matter because for whatever reason, the algorithm interpreted my language in a way that made it look like I was peddling disinformation. So that's what my main problem with this is the enforcement. I know they over-enforce and there's a lot of crossfire. That being said, I do think getting rid of some of these bigger channels is a good move. That's my opinion. I would rather just get rid of all the bigger channels, right? And get rid of all, like, content ID their videos so that people cannot mirror them and all that kind of stuff. That is what I support. But again, they really need to work on the enforcement process. And that's my huge problem with this, right? But let's read. YouTube said on Wednesday that it was banning several prominent anti-vaccine activists from its platform. Good. Including the accounts of Joseph Mercola and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Good. As a part of the effort to remove all content that falsely claims that approved vaccines are dangerous. Good. Bye-bye, Jimmy Dore. In a blog post, YouTube said that it would remove videos claiming that vaccines do not reduce transmission or contraction of disease. And the content that includes misinformation on the contents of the vaccines claims that approved vaccines cause autism, cancer, or infertility, or that the vaccines contain trackers will also be removed. So this is not just for COVID, but the vaccines cause autism, which Donald Trump believes, remember many such cases, that will also be removed, that kind of stuff as well. Also, again, who cares if vaccines cause autism? Are you saying autism is bad? Sorry, it's not. The platform, which is owned by Google, had a very similar ban on misinformation about the COVID-19 vaccines, but the new policy expands the rules to misleading claims about approved vaccines, such as those against measles and hepatitis B, as well as to falsehoods about vaccines in general. YouTube said personal testimonies relating to vaccines, content about vaccine policies, and new vaccine trials and historical videos about vaccine success or failures will be allowed to remain on the site. Again, I am very concerned with how they're going to enforce this, and whether, because again, it's mostly algorithmically. So I hope I don't get caught in this one. Obviously, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. And I do support this policy if it's enforced accurately, which I am very skeptical of. But also, again, getting rid of these big accounts, that's only going to be a net positive. It really, the people that don't believe in vaccines, they're going to become smaller and smaller and smaller. You can't, like, banning these channels does not stop everyone that, like, it's not like, oh, they banned Robert F. Kennedy, I guess I believe in vaccines now. That's not really what it does. But what it does is it prevents new people from falling down into these rabbit holes. Because that's what these things do, is they prey on people that, may have, like, a leaning toward a certain, opinion. Maybe they're a little hesitant. They don't like needles. I don't like needles, but I still got my vaccine on day one, motherfucker. Just do it already, right? But maybe they don't like needles. Maybe they're trying to find, and they stumble upon this shit, and then they fall down the rabbit hole. So it prevents the growth of the cancerous tumor that we call anti-vaxxers. And so that's the big thing. And it, again, it might help some people get out of it, but really it's preventing the growth. We need some chemotherapy on these motherfuckers. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. But again, I just hope that the enforcement doesn't fuck up. And also, I hope that they enforce this on politicians. I hope they enforce this on Fox News. I hope Tucker Carlson and Fox News get banned. They won't be, though. I guarantee it. But either way, we'll see how this plays out. This is breaking news, folks. This has been the breaking news segment of the show. I should do this more. Should cover breaking news instead of covering news that's like 4 days old. Yeah, I saw this video about 3 months ago. I'm gonna talk about it now. I should do more breaking news. This is cool. You heard it here first, folks.